Morning. We have a great lineup for you even this evening. We have North Point that I'll be speaking at on the God of Walls and Wells. And one thing I hate is people that don't turn their cell phone off. So Jesus is calling you this morning. I can't believe he's actually on the phone. Jesus, is this really you?
Yes, it's me, Stick.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. I can't believe you're calling me on my cell phone. That's crazy. You kind of sound, I don't know, like a regular person. I guess when I figured God would speak, I thought maybe, you'd have some like dog, deep voice, or maybe like Arnold Schwarzenegger, or something like that, like some tough voice. But did you know that he's running for governor of California? Can you believe that?
Yes. Even I find humor in politics.
Well, I'm just getting ready to actually preach, so it's kind of funny that you called. I was wondering the other day, now that I've got you on the phone, is there anything that you'd like to speak to me about? Because I really didn't realize that you'd try to get a hold of me on a cell phone. I thought you'd like to speak, on the burning book.
Well, it was the only way I could get a hold of you.
Oh, yeah. Well, what do you want to talk to me about? Is there anything specific?
Who do you serve?
Oh, I think I serve you, Jesus. Most of the time, I would believe that.
Think about it.
What?
Who's in charge here?
You are. You're in charge.
Who's the president? The head coach? And boss of your life?
We don't really need to talk about this right now. I'm getting ready to preach here, Jesus.
Who calls the shots?
I think you do.
Who makes the calls?
You, I guess.
How do you know who you serve?
Good question. How do I know who I serve, Jesus?
It's what you think about.
Oh. Well, I think about a lot of things.
It's what's most important to you.
Okay.
It's how you spend your time.
Well, I like to go to the beach and the lake and stuff. I might not.
It's who you're devoted to.
Oh.
So who do you serve?
I think the majority of the time...
Do you serve your stuff?
Well, I got a lot of nice things, but I don't say I'd serve them.
Do you serve your interests?
I like to do stuff on Sunday morning.
Do you serve relationships? Do you serve yourself? Or do you serve God?
I guess... Jesus, I gotta go, okay? Around here this morning... If you have your Bibles, open them up to Deuteronomy chapter 17. In the book rack Bible, in the Bible right in front of you there, it's page 138. And we're going to be talking about a passage this morning that is such an interesting passage because it talks about the fact that when God brought Israel out of slavery in Egypt and brought them into the promised land, it was a theocracy. It was the kind of nation where God ruled over it literally. And God set up parameters. He said, someday you're going to want a king. And in that day when you want a king, it wasn't a sinful thing to necessarily want a king. God built it into the law in Deuteronomy. And he said, in that day when you have a king, these are the things that are to be important about the man you choose. And these are the things that are to be important to the person that you do choose. The things that they should find important. So Deuteronomy chapter 17. Verse 14, you're running after the material things of life rather than trusting in the God that made the material to give them blessings as they follow Him. Look at the definition of materialism. It's not a Webster's dictionary. It's a preoccupation with material as opposed to spiritual or intellectual values. And those are too big of words for me, so I summarized it into this. Materialism happens when the need-nots become necessity. Materialism happens when the need-nots become necessity. When the things you really don't need become your necessity, is it wrong to have pleasurable things? No. God blessed Abraham with more wealth than he could spend. Yet Abraham had a heart towards God. God blessed David with a whole kingdom. hand-fed him out of Saul. Saul basically set up the kingdom as a wise young man and then fell away from God, and God removed Saul and stuck a man after his own heart in Israel. And David, even though he intermarried a little bit and had some other problems, but he served God wholeheartedly even with the wealth he had. His son Solomon started out well, but had so much wealth and accumulated so much material that he ended up serving. We think about we ride on the freeway, and we're in our new car, or new truck, or whatever it happens to be. I'm just picking this out of the air, but we ride there, and you're riding in your car going, on the beautiful tropical 10 freeway. You're driving over the hill into West Covina or something, down into Eden, and you're driving out to the 10, and as people are passing you by, depending on what kind of car you can afford, you look to the side and you go, aha, are they checking my car out? So in case they're not, you turn the stereo up really loud and roll the window down. So like their car's only vibrating with your music, and they're like, they're going to check me out now, whether they want to or not. Check me out, here I am. But if you got kind of a piece of junk, then you're like, just trying to get away from people going the slow lane or whatever. Because you want people like laughing at you, like, oh, look at that piece of junk. Watch me drive over your truck. But you live and you learn. And here's what I'm saying. If God brings you out of those situations, if he brings you out of credit card debt, some of us are like, God, if you just gave me $25,000 and I could pay off all my credit card debt, then I would never use my credit card again. Ever, Jesus. I won't even spell Visa the rest of my life. And it's just not reality. Why? Because what you do is you mourn the problem that you're financially strapped, and you go, Jesus, I would love to give to the church. I mean, it's that stereotypical thing where like, if I could win the lotto, then I'd tithe. If I could win the $100 million lotto, then I'd give $50 a month. That's right, Jesus. I would do that for you. And Jesus is like, whoa, are you serious? Let me write you a check right now. I really need your $50, so here's your $100 million. I mean, give me a break. What God cares about is a heart attitude. What God cares about is that you and I are disciplined enough to care about the God who made the material rather than the material itself. But when are we, as not Americans anymore, but when are we, as God's people, as Jesus' bride, going to stop saying, I live for the things I amass, and I'll show up to church once in a while? When am I going to stop living for buying as much as I can? If I get a new job, see, some of us think, gosh, if I just had a couple more $1,000s a month, then I'd totally be able to pay off my bills. But if we got a couple $1,000s more a month, we'd find a way to spend it every month. Because what it comes down to is it's a heart issue. It's not an amount issue. And we need to disabuse our minds of this idea that, gosh, if I just had more stuff, then I could give more stuff away. But in reality, if you're not giving away stuff when you're poor, you're not going to give it away when you're rich. Because it's your heart. It isn't just your checkbook. I mean, I know that in my own life. And I just say, Jesus, purify your bride. I don't worry about America too much because God's going to do what he wants with America. But it says that judgment starts in the house of God. And so when we look outside and we see all these people, Hugh Hefner is this immoral person, blah, blah, blah. And I just go, you know what? Let God deal with Hugh Hefner. It says that judgment starts in the house of God. And when are we going to quit looking outside and going, oh, sinner, this sinner, that sinner, you need to get over that, and you got problems with God, and blah, 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 and look at you. And we look in ourselves, and we're just as materialistic as them. We just put a Christian stamp on it. It's just materialism wrapped up in a Christian wrapping. Proverbs 30, verses 7 through 9 says, 2 things I ask of you. This is Agur who wrote this psalm. He says, 2 things I ask of you, O Lord. Do not refuse me before I die. Keep falsehood and lies far from me. Give me neither poverty nor riches, but give me only my daily bread. Otherwise I may have too much and disown you and say, who is the Lord? Or I may become poor and steal and so dishonor the name of my God. Can you imagine us this morning if we said, God, please don't give me too much? How many of us have ever prayed that? Jesus, please do not give me so many riches that I will trust in myself instead of you. I've never prayed that, but maybe I need to. Jesus, whatever you do, please do not give me so much money that I will trust in my money over you. Give me only my daily bread, and if you want to bless me above and beyond that, I'll take it, but I'll turn it back to you to glorify you. Material is not the problem. Materialism is the problem. and the ism is the killer.